think the biggest privilege they had was to have Ramesh and Sahana as their son and daughter-in-law. And I think, Ramesh, you have done a commendable job, and I hope someday your children will also pay you back what you have done for your parents.
Of competition, Fortune in the bottom of pyramid, and the new book, New Age of Innovation. He's been awarded 3 times the McKinsey Award, voted the most influential thinker by the Business Week, as the most influential thinker by Thinker 50, and the Global Indian Award by NASCOM.
What Raju and Varne, as we used to call them, is more for us. It purifies us, because they were extraordinary people. And I think there are many things that words cannot say, many things that pictures won't say. For example, he's one of those people who could deeply immerse himself in any subject. So I once gave him Hawkins' book on Brief History of Time. I read it. I have a physics background, not much of physics, but I have some background. And I read it and I said, it's interesting, and left it at that. I came back after 6 months. He brought the book out and said, there is some disconnect between what he said in page 33 and some page 183 or something. Now, he expected me to have read it with the same care and have figured out for myself how to reconcile the problem. That is a different generation. And this is just an example of commitment to personal excellence, quiet scholarship. It is not very visible to outsiders. He didn't do it for others. He did it for himself to understand. So I can give you lots of stories like this. And it kept me thinking. I read the book. I didn't read it that carefully. If I didn't understand something, I said, okay, I could get on with not understanding it fully, not him. That makes a difference. When I was contemplating a career in academics and research, of course, my uncle Narendra and Raju were the 2 people I can look up to. And very few people know this. From Cambridge and after the army, he could have joined the United Nations Food Fund or United Nations. He said, I have no right to go and help poor people in other countries. There are so many poor people in my country need help. He came back, and of course the system did not understand what a gift he gave to this country. So I believe still that he had continued at Cambridge, he had continued his research career, maybe he would have had the first Nobel Prize in my family. He was that quality. So all that we can do is a paid substitute for what he could have accomplished. Now, we don't know whether he would have gotten a Nobel Prize or not, but I do know that the person who worked with him very early on, Martin and Rajgopal, most of the papers was Rajgopal and Martin. He won the Nobel Prize. So I think reasonable chance is never, Nobel Prizes are never 100%, but even if it's a 5% chance, he has a chance. And there is another thing that I find interesting. His intellectual curiosity never wavered. When he was in Ann Arbor, my son also was studying biochemistry and genetics. So he wanted to talk about a little bit about A vitamin chemistry and something that is, he still was bugging him. And so poor Murli had to bring all the books. And just like my father used to do, he would read it all through the day. When you come back home, he would ask you questions. I had the same problem about physics. So my father was not a physicist, but he would read my books and then ask me questions, and I had no clue. And then he would say, how come you can sleep if you don't understand this? I did sleep quite well. But it's a very different generation of people. If you're intellectually curious, if you don't understand something, you have to search till you get it. It's a very different kind of people. And I think we are so fortunate that all my brothers were very different. Each one had unique strengths. Madhvesh and I learned a lot from all of them. But Raju was quite different. He was quiet. He was much more introspective, almost shy, didn't say much. But if you want to find out how good he was, you had to spend the time, sit with him and ask questions. Then you got to know a little bit more. He didn't volunteer his intelligence or his deep insights. But I'll never forget the amount of time he spent thinking about A vitamin chemistry in Ann Arbor. So it put us all to shame. I wish when I'm at his age, I would hopefully be intellectually as vigorous as they were. And I think the last thing I would say is both Raju and Vardhani were never sloppy. You get up in the morning, they were well dressed, they were presentable. I think it's also says something, it's not just about one aspect of the person, high level of intelligence, great ability to empathize with people, and as Vasanta said, never confront, but be clear about what you think, never hurt anybody. All those are very good qualities, but I think it is the sum total of the package that was unique. And all my brothers were different packages. They're all very different, but all of them were quite interesting and remarkable people. And I think they all worked very well together. And I think for them coming to US and to Ann Arbor was the best privilege we had. We learned a lot. Our children learned a little bit of Kannada. They learned a lot about our family. And that was our privilege. It was not something we did for them. They did a lot more for us. And I think I just want to say one last word. I wish all of us as parents would be as lucky as Raju and Vardhani were.
Kind words, and as I said, we are very deeply indebted to my father and mother, and whatever we are today is but for the kind benevolence of Raju and Mana and team. And the fact that all of you are here and this hall is full reflects on the respect, the love and affection all of you have had to my parents. Thank you so much. It's been great that all of you have come.